May I come in?
Yes, please.
This is my CV. I heard there is a consultant position open in your hospital, so I would like to apply.
Impressive CV. So we do have a vacancy for junior consultant position, but not in a senior level.
Junior consultant, but I have 10 years of experience. I am expecting a senior role.
Not at this moment, but if you are interested, you can apply for a junior consultant position.
What if there is a crisis? You need an experienced hand, no?
That is why we have protocols in place, and juniors will follow the protocols, and it works out for us absolutely well.
Okay, I will take it.
Great, welcome aboard and join our hospital. This is exactly the situation in many hospitals in India, and what happens is senior jobs rarely open up. I'll tell you why. It is not the problem of a senior also. I'll tell you the reasons behind this. Number one reason is most of the seniors would stay in the same position for 20 plus years if you collect the data. And this junior, who might have to wait for 10 plus years to realize that senior has no plans to retire. Number two is the seniors mostly become comfortable with the hospital, and what happens is they develop a patient base, so they wouldn't actually move to another hospital. For example, a cardiologist who has built his thriving practice in one hospital will find it too risky to move to another hospital because he will have his own doubts whether he can develop the patient base like how he has built in this hospital. And then what happens is the family situation also, like family expenses, children's education would be very expensive. They would inflate their lifestyle, so relocating to another hospital or changing the job would be too risky for them. And the next reason would be the hospital side. The hospital also would always think that one senior is enough, and they would pay any kind of salary for them, and he will oversee all the juniors who are working under them and mid-level people who are working under him. So here I would like to explain the problem in a better way. So out of all the MD and DNB people who are passing out from different colleges, from different institutes and all that, so all those people would actually get junior level jobs. There is no doubt in that. 100% placement is happening at present in India. Maybe one or two wouldn't get placed. That is totally dependent upon how you actually behave in the interview. So 0 to 5 years, what I'm usually observing is in this bracket 100% will get placed in a junior level. They will be called with different names, called as some place they call as junior consultant, some place they call them specialist, some place they call them registrar, some place they call them senior residents. So different names are given to that. So this is a bracket in India where you get paid anywhere between 60,000 to 1.2 to 1.5 lakhs. Okay, so this is the kind of salary you can expect if you're working in an institution. If you're doing freelancing, this video doesn't apply. You can actually stop the video and watch something else. So once you cross this 5-year period, then obviously you would want to go to next level. So that level is called as a mid-level jobs according to me. So mid-level jobs would be given different names like associate consultant, junior consultants, and then they call them with different names, and even in smaller hospitals they even call them consultants. So whatever they call them, their salary would be lesser than the other two sections which I'm going to show now. So anywhere you can expect between 1.5 to 2 to 2.5 lakhs is the salary you can expect in this level. Okay, so here people are crossing from this layer to here. There is one filter, but most of the people are able to cross this filter. Okay, so 70% are able to cross, only 30% is not able to cross. So after this, then what happens is in the 70%, there will be 20% attrition and 50% would reach the final position. This is called as according to me, this is called as a mid-level positions. They're called with different names. They're called as consultant in some places. They're called as associates, and different names are given. So in this position, out of 100% to pass, 50% would achieve this position. Anywhere it will take between 10 plus years to reach this position after your postgraduate training. If you are a super specialist following the video, anywhere between 7 to 8 years it would take to reach this position. So by this time you would actually have some patient base, not very too much patient base would be there if you're a clinician. If you are a service sector like anesthesia, emergency medicine, radiology and all that, then you would be experienced in the field and your reporting and everything would be perfect. But among this 50%, only 1% of the people are reaching the position of leading the whole team. Okay, so basically they are called as heads. Some places they're called as senior consultant, some places they're called as a lead consultant, some places they're called as HODs, directors. Different names are given to them, but that position is reached only by 1% of the people. Okay, out of 100% passing, 1%, that is only 1 in 100 chance of reaching that position. In future, what might happen is that might become 0.1%. That means 1 in 1,000 would reach that position. Unfortunately, it will happen like that because the number of people who are being produced are increasing, right? Obviously, that percentage would become like that in future. So this is the problem that we are facing. So now in this video, what I am going to tell you is, who is that 1%? Among this 50%, how to cross this barrier is what I am going to tell you in this video. There is something called as an X factor these people have. I have seen many people, whoever is there in this 1% have that X factor. So that X factor, if you develop from the beginning, from the 0 years, you can quickly go through the filters and reach the 1%. I have seen some people at the age of 30s only they reach this top position. There are people at 50s not able to reach this position because that X factor is there in the 30s fellow who actually, which made him reach that position faster compared to other people. In this video, I am going to tell you that. So this particular X factor has 5 elements to it, or 5 components to it. Component number 1 is they are usually masters in some rare or advanced skills which others don't have in the hospital. So they easily differentiate themselves in that particular hospital. So since I'm an anesthetist, I can easily give you some example. If some anesthetist is mastered in doing awake craniotomies, or if he's mastered in regional anesthesia, he would differentiate himself from other anesthesiologists who don't have that skills. So in that way, a clinician should differentiate himself from other people, and he should always answer the question, how am I different? Why should hospital actually promote me to next levels? And everything, the answer to that is mastery of some advanced skill which has some patient base. Okay, some skill which doesn't have any kind of relevance, if it is not solving any problem to the community, and that doesn't serve the purpose. Some number of patients also should be there for that skill. So I have done a video on is surgery dying? You can check out that video. I'll put that in the description also. Where in the surgery, many people are specializing in so many niches, but some niches have business, some don't have. Okay, I explained in that video. Like minimal invasive surgery has a very good business model attached to that, because a lot of patients are having the problem and they come for that. Like that, you need to have skill which has a patient base or number of patients having that problem. Only then it will be valued. That is the component 1 of X factor. Then coming to component 2 is obviously leadership. The much needed skill is leadership. Leadership is more about taking charge of the crisis situation, or making a protocol for sepsis management, and creating systems and processes in your place, or training juniors in trauma management, or something. You can take up any area and show to the organization that you have leadership skills. And if you sit and wait for somebody to give you that, nobody is going to do that. Okay, you have to actually actively learn something and go to management or HR or some quality department and tell them that you have this skill, and you'll do it for free, and then they will organize that. So the hospital should see some kind of a leadership skills in you. So that is how you need to do. This is component number 2. Okay, or simple rota making in your organization also is a good leadership skill according to me, because it's a big headache. You can actually decrease work of your HOD and system will observe. So who is making the rota? If you have good clinical skills enough, you are also making the rota, you are valued in the department. Component number 3 is visibility, branding. So basically, a neurologist is there. Apart from treating his patients, he also conducts CMAs, he conducts camps, he gets patients from there. Or a cardiologist who presents international conferences, presents rare cases that he is dealing, the high-risk cases that he is doing, the research that he has done in his organization, would market himself and make him visible to the world. That is the most important skill that you need to have. The top 1% have that. I have seen this personally. They have that charisma, they have the charming nature, they have that vibe around them, and that is must if you want to go to the top 1%. Okay, I've done so many videos on that. I don't want to bore you guys in this area. Component number 4 is responsibility, adaptability, crisis management. Must. A surgeon who stayed calm during a massive intraoperative blood loss is trusted by every anesthetist, every nurse. They respect him. You have to gain the respect by actually dealing the crisis with calmness. Okay, when patients code blue happened, one senior consultant in anesthesia took the lead, dealt it very nicely, and others are actually appreciating the way he revived the patient. Or your anesthetist in the OT where massive blood loss happened, you dealt it with an ease and you saved the patient in 10 minutes. So all these things are an X factor. This X factor is required if you want to go to the top 1%. Okay, the last component is the financial component, understanding revenues and understanding. You're a nephrologist and you're adding an element of plasmapheresis to the hospital which is not there before. Okay, and that add an extra vertical of revenue to the hospital, you're valued more. Or you are a surgeon who added robotic surgery to the hospital, that add an extra revenue to the hospital, you're valued more. So adding more verticals to the hospital would add more revenue, and then what happens is those people are considered automatically leaders. I'm not telling this the only thing. All these factors would form the X factor. If you understand how the business of healthcare works, it's not about doing an MBA, but simple, understand. Go to conferences, understand where the research is going on, advance their surgeries, do observerships with good people, see how they're managing, try to adopt that, copy them, do in your place. That's a simple way of doing it. Okay, and then that is a way of doing. So keep some days for observerships in a year, at least 1-2 weeks. Go to good people, copy them, implement in your place. That's all you have to do. So if you want to ensure you're not stuck in a mid-level, if you want to be the top 1%, then you have to develop a rare skill. You have to become a leader. You have to market yourself, become more visible. You have to handle crisis like a pro, and understand healthcare economics. Okay, so all these 5 elements would build your X factor. You'll not remain stuck, and you'll move up and up and up and up and up. Okay. If you don't actively build this, then you will stay in the same level, and then you blame the whole hospital organization, the person who crossed your level and reached the top level. All these things you would do. So that is what I would like to tell. If you reach this part of the video, you have an exciting news. The exciting news is that all these days I thought of mentoring people, but I didn't have time. I am head of a zone, and I crossed all these phases, so I'll have a hell lot of work. But what I thought is I would mentor some people this year in 2025. Okay, some people, not everyone. So there is a Google form in the description. So you can register in that. So monthly 5 people I will mentor. I'll have 15 to 20 minutes. I'll sit with them. I'll make a strategy for them. So strategy is basically these 5 things, X factor, how to develop in you. And hardworking is one element. Hardworking is must. Along with that, strategy should be there. That strategy is how to build these things, because every person is different. My strategy would be different. Yours should be different. That is what I build with you, because if I train some people like that, then they will train more people is the agenda with which I am doing that. So I will put a Google form. If you want, you can register there. And any specialty you are, we can build. If I really don't know that subject, I will meet I'll inquire and I'll get the information. I can still develop a strategy. And I'll follow up with you guys after 3 months and 6 months and 1 year. So that is what I would do for some people. So monthly 5, you can register. If more people are registering, month by month, you will get your turn over a period of months. And then I think investing in yourself is the best way to grow in life. Make a strategy, and then you can break this trap. And riches are there when you actually reach that position, not in the mid-level and junior levels. Okay, hope you understood the video. Thank you very much for following the video till the end. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Okay, and share this to multiple people. Thank you very much for following the video till the end.